Morning, everybody. Pushing out of the barn this morning. It is 7:45. Give you a little bit of a view of what we have this morning. Heavy rains last night. Really heavy rains. But this morning, the trail is beautiful. We obviously expect it to be a bit muddy and sloppy. Unfortunately, we're some of the last ones out, so the guys before us will slop it up obviously a little bit, and then we will have a little extra, but it's no big deal. It was a nice morning. Cup of coffee, some of the dehydrated scrambled eggs and peppers. So that was a nice way to start it. I think we're looking for a little over 17 this morning, or today. At about 7, there's a hostel where I think both Z and I have to stop to pick up some snacks. We seem to be raiding our food bags from the hiker hunger, so as a consequence, it's we need to pick up lunchtime stuff from the hostel before going on. So I'm looking at 2 nights, 3 days into Lake, well, whatever's Watuga or whatever, Route 321. Probably meet my brother there, and then right now, given my knee situation, I'll probably go into Johnson City and do at least 2 zeros until that knee can settle down, because there's no way I could continue even short days on that knee unless the terrain changes dramatically. So I think I'll have to take a couple days just to give it a chance to heal before pushing it on to Damascus and then hitting the Virginia. So anyway, ascending, so I will leave you here and get back to you. So this area has been just a series of balds after you cross the Roan. Kind of windy and brisk up here on this bald, so I'm going to sort of quickly show you the scenery. Nice look of the ridge line from across the way. Look up on the next bald, you'll see that black snaking line that goes up there. That's the trail. So that is where we are obviously headed to next. we had a really good crew last night. Really good crew. Clooney and Bear Meat, of course. Zia, myself, Hannah, Remy, Frank, who we're calling Hooker, but he's not calling himself Hooker. He's the speed demon. He's looking to do 22 today. He's only like 19 or 20 days out right now, so he's fast. And then Ben and Rose, they're a great couple. Yeah, he's a carpenter, she's a nurse. Very similar situation actually to Clooney and Bear Meat. Trying to, each of the gals being a nurse, and each of the guys having flexible jobs that they could travel wherever, and they're just trying to figure out where to go next before they start their family and stuff. So both inspirational couples, really awesome. Stopped in their Ben and Rose are a little younger, in their 20s. You know, Bear Meat and Clooney may be too, so don't be offended if, but they just seem a little bit older. Either way, both of them stopped and said, where do we want to be? What do we want to be before we start a family? And I'm telling you, I find that to be amazing. That was so not my personality and so not my character. When I got into the Matrix, I was consumed by it. And even after I had cancer the first time at 26, I didn't have the guts to stop, pause, take account of myself before moving on. I just trudged ahead. I think to my own detriment, to the detriment of my family. Yeah, stupid. But these people really are awesome. So I truly appreciate being able to spend some time with them. Anyway, that's a good crew right there. It's too bad we're all gonna break up now. Hooker is shooting for 22 today. He'll move on ahead of everybody. Clooney and Bear Meat are actually gonna stop at the hostel just 7 or 8 miles down and take a much deserved rest. They haven't been doing the hostels at all, so Rose and Ben are they're gonna stop too, but further down or something. Anyway, Rose, who looks like she's taking a shower 4 times a day for some reason, is always looking pristine. They're gonna stop so she can shower again, I guess. Hannah's going on. She'll be, yeah, next shelter, 17, I think it was, 16 and a half, 17. She's a friggin' machine. She too stays out all the time. Z and I already told you. So, unfortunately, we'll be breaking up. But I really have appreciated this window with this group. Really, we never became a family or anything, but we all got along pretty easy, and it was a nice phase. It really was. And we'll just see what the trail provides after I take care of myself and my health. And maybe I'll link back up with RTK. Speaking of him, shot him a text last night, and for the first time he responded back. So he probably was knee deep in it for a couple days and was sort of off the, not off the trail, but limiting communication and stuff. But he came back up last night. He was at Beauty Spot. I hope he wasn't out in that rain. It was pretty horrific with the wind and the rain. At least it was here. So he's a couple days back. you know, maybe he'll stop for a 0 with my 2. We'll link back up. It's a great thing, you know, it's like this slinky, you know. It just has a way of bringing you back together, separating you. And that's far better than actually trying to hike together, simply because, you know, you have your ups and downs, your good days and bad days, and it's just difficult to sort of keep your timing set. Just take what the trail provides and move on. Okay, so I hope that's a good update. I like to mention the other guys now because, you know, they're 400 miles into it, and, you know, their chances of continuing on with the trail is very high. So at the beginning, where A, I didn't really know people's names, but B, there were so many and it didn't seem like mentioning everybody. You can see a lot of those people you don't hear about anymore, whether they've fallen way back or they've dropped off. We've heard people dropping off, quite a few people. So now I'll help keep you familiar with at least the people that are impacting my hike and days, so that you'll get a sense of, you know, who some of these other folks are, because they're you know, pretty unique. Everybody's got a different background, so it's really neat. Okay, guys, I will probably pick you back up when I hit this staircase or whatever it is. Okay, here's the summit of that bald. Sort of redundant pictures, but the way the light hits them is different in each place. Look at those mountains. Those, to me, are more impressive looking than like a Roan, which is a big mound, but I guess they're just not as tall. I can't imagine that we're not heading towards them, though. Okay, this is literally a minute and a half after I just took our last photos of those ridge lines up here on Houston Ridge. See you with me? I just want to show you the same scene from the same bald. Weather definitely has changed. Sort of pelting rain. Temperature has, maybe it's about the same. It's just the wind's picked up a little bit. It's not bad. Neither one of us are actually uncomfortable. It's been pretty good. We came down that very steep section. I was relatively happy. I think there were only like 3 times that my knee shot pain that I had to stop for a moment and just give it a chance to calm back down. So that was pretty good given the duration and intensity of that downhill. Now I think we're just roller coastering down to a trail, to a road where the bed and breakfast is to our left and the hostel's to our right. One of them is an outfitter. Not that I really think I need anything, but Zia was talking about buying something. But we both need a resupply of our lunches because we've gone through them so fast, and we've been raiding our dinner bags, which is fine, except for I have at least a solid 2 nights and solid 3rd day before I can get to 321 Hampton, Tennessee, there at Lake Watauga or whatever it is. So, trail's not bad at all. I mean, look at this. I mean, for all the rain that we've had, it's pretty firm and dry. Obviously, there are some slogs, but hey, that happens anytime. So, pretty happy about this. I think part of the reason is because we're just starting to see buds on the trees, which means the trees are starting to take in huge amounts of moisture. And one of the guys was telling us that, I think it was the broad French River, when spring comes, even if you have rains and stuff, and of course all of the water flow from the snow melt and everything off the hills, that river level drops precipitously because the trees are absorbing so much water as they come into spring, into bud, that you don't realize how much water. But look at the density of the trees. So even with this path, let's just say for the sake of argument that it was soaked this morning, you have some massive trees right here with root systems, obviously, that you're constantly tripping over, falling over. I mean, look at them. And this has almost nothing right here. They're absorbing massive amounts of water. So, the benefit of that is that the trail is staying relatively firm. So, oh, look at that. Now, what would make a tree do that? You wonder. There's damage on the top, so it's almost like another tree had fallen down on it as it was growing and was just resting against it like a deadfall or something, or a widowmaker, for so significant period of time of its life that it took on that shape. But then the widowmaker finally decayed enough to collapse away, and now the tree is permanently left with that bow. You see a lot of wild trees like that. It's kind of cool. Okay, coming to a road intersection. This is the gap where there is a hostel like 0.2 miles away and a bed and breakfast like maybe half a mile away or something. One of them has a full outfitter. Not sure of the name of the town. I can give it to you. Oh, look at that. That's nice. That's pretty. Ooh. I know there are shuttles back and forth, but I'm not sure if we're going to do that. And if we are we going to have to stop and have lunch? It's 11:35 out of the 17 point something miles that we have planned for today. I believe we only have done 7 point something, so we still have a 10 mile. Given my knee, might be slightly less than 2.5 miles an hour. So let's just say 2. That's a 5 hours from here. Anyway, these are the considerations. Come up here and talk to my boy Zia, and we'll figure it out.